The Nakto Santa Monica. Is it any good? Keep on watching our honest review to find out if this $1,200 e-bike is any good at all, and who's it good for if it is good for someone. Keep on watching to find out more. I don't always start these reviews off by riding through my neighborhood, but I figured I would on this because you know what? This is the best spot for this e-bike. This e-bike is the Nakto, hope I'm saying that right, Santa Monica. Now, I've got a lot of e-bikes in my garage, and this is the one that everyone always gravitates towards first. And I think that's kind of interesting. This is a really good-looking e-bike that's only $11.99 right now. And a lot of people like this e-bike because it's kind of got the cruiser setup, nice and easy breezy, and it's just meant for cruising around like I'm doing right here in our neighborhood. It's pretty nice. The best part about an e-bike like this is that you don't need to go off-roading all the time. You don't need an e-bike that's like super heavy duty or anything like that. You just need sometimes an e-bike that just can cruise. And you know what? That's exactly what this e-bike does. It just cruises. It is a cruiser designed for cruising and not much more, and that's okay. It has a top speed of about 20 miles an hour. Picks up a little tiny hill. The bike is relatively heavy. It's about 70 pounds, but it doesn't feel that heavy. I don't know why. Maybe it's just not, doesn't have the big giant tires that some of these other e-bikes have, but this e-bike is just perfect for cruising around town. It's beautiful. I mean, it's simply one of the most beautiful e-bikes that we've tested. And it's got a couple of unique little features. Got a storm rolling in here, so hopefully I don't get rained out. I'm going 20 miles an hour here really easily, no problem whatsoever. And this bike it's literally just what this name is. It is a cruising e-bike. Now, a couple of things that are interesting about this bike that may not be, super obvious the first time you take a look at it, is this is a really comfortable position to ride a bike on. I like to ride with this cruising handle. I wish more e-bikes came exactly like this. Now, the slight weird thing about the way that these handlebars are set up is that this is kind of an awkward spot, just to be 100% honest with you. It's not perfect. It's not, no e-bike is perfect. I always tell people, like, there is no such thing as the perfect e-bike. But let me walk through a couple of the features with you real quick. Once again, I mean, this is just a good looking e-bike. And for $1,100, $1,200, it's tough for me to find a whole lot wrong with this. Now, if this was $2,000, I could find a couple of things that are wrong with this. Now, a couple of things I'd want to know if I was in your shoes looking at an e-bike like this one. First of all, is the range is kind of limited. It's about 25 miles with this tire or this battery right here. And it's not bad, it's not good, it's not, it's just what it is. The get up and go, I think, is just fine for a bike like this. It's got a 500 watt motor, perfectly adequate for this kind of e-bike. You can take this on some light trails. You can't take this, off-roading or anything crazy. It does have a front suspension. It does have a front light. It does have this cool little horn. It's kind of funny. I think it's always funny to test out the different horns and bells for some reason. I don't know why, but they all are just a little bit different. The trip computer on this is just so-so, and like I said earlier, it's just a little bit hard to see where, see the screen at the angle that it's at. I'm sure I can move it around a little bit too, but that's just where it is, and it's on there pretty good, so I haven't moved it around. Does not come with the rear rack. You can buy a rear rack. It's got the holes for it there. Obviously it's got the holes there. It does have a shifter. My shifter broke in transit, and not the fault of Nakto at all. They actually sent me a replacement right away. I just haven't had a chance to replace it. But the truth is, you don't use a shifter a whole lot when you're riding an e-bike, because you use pedal assist more to handle the different, just like you would a shifter, you use pedal assist to kind of move up and down. But let's just go take us for a little bit of a ride. I'm gonna take us up the hill that I always take bikes up, see how easy or difficult it is to go up there, and I'll tell you what I think, all right? Cool. Now, the bike that this actually reminds me the most of is another cruiser that we've tested out. That cruiser did not have a front suspension. It's one of the first bikes that we actually tested out. And just like this one, it's just easy to ride. You don't want a big, heavy bike if you're just cruising around. This is definitely on the heavier side of things for sure. But yeah. Let's do a quick speed test here. I'm going 0, and let's go. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and stop. Now, this does not have the hydraulic disc brakes that a lot of the e-bikes have been coming with here recently. That's okay, they had to save money on this somehow. They had to make it $1,100 somehow. And that's one area where they can save some money, is by having a little bit less expensive brakes. They still work just fine. So once again, it's not super heavy duty, and that's by design. Well, let's take this up a hill and see how it goes. One kind of concern I did have with this e-bike was the, I think it's 65 Newton meters of torque. I'll correct that if it's incorrect here, but. All right, no problem, really no problem whatsoever getting up this hill here. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. I'm actually pleasantly surprised that I got up the hill just fine. Part of it is because this e-bike is a little bit lighter. It's not a whole lot lighter, but it's a little bit lighter than some of the other e-bikes we've tested. That lighter battery in the middle really makes up for it. You can hear a little bit of squeakiness on the brakes. That's going to happen with any mechanical disc brakes that you have. Yeah. All right, so who is this e-bike for? Well, this e-bike is probably for the person that, is curious about e-bikes, has ridden, a bike before, but they don't want to spend a whole lot of money on an e-bike. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay to have an e-bike that is not the top of the line e-bike, and that's not what this is. This is a cruiser meant to cruise around town and cruise in the neighborhood like I'm doing right now, and that's about it. I would see this as the perfect brewery bike for sure. Be a great bike to take to the breweries because it's just easy. I also like the integrated battery design here that makes it a little bit more secure. You don't have to worry about locking it up or bringing it in. Also helps with the weatherproofing of it. All right, so who is this e-bike for? It's not for everybody, but no e-bike is for everybody. This e-bike is perfect for the person that just wants to cruise around. I mean, that's probably the best person to support. It's a cruiser, it's designed to be cruising. It's not meant to handle, any sort of crazy off-roading. It's the perfect brewery bike. Now, I don't think this is the highest quality bike that I've tested. I don't think it's the worst quality bike we've ever tested, but I wouldn't expect this to last, 10 plus years or anything like that, just to be completely honest. I think this is a great bike, a great first e-bike. If you've never ridden an e-bike before, you will never know the difference between all the other ones, but it's a good e-bike. It's a lot of fun. I love the big handlebars. You gotta be careful to not hit the throttle here, because if you hit it, why, it's not on brake, but if you have the brake, it will not go. I've seen some other people talk about how you should hold on to here to get on the e-bike. I've not had that problem. I typically just grab the brake and then hop on. This is not a step-through model. This is a high step model. That is okay in my book. But overall, I really like this bike and it looks great. And for $1,199, like, what else do you want? Seriously, it's a great e-bike for the price. If you need more range, get something else. If you need bigger tires, more off-roading capabilities, get something else. If you're gonna be riding this, 100 miles a week, get another bike. For just cruising, for just the casual trip to the brewery or the grocery store or whatever, this is a great e-bike. If you have any questions or comments, please let us know in the comments below. I hope to see you again real soon.